Ever wondered how some random guy builds an app in his garage and makes millions while you're still stuck debugging Hello World? Today I'm going to show you exactly how to build your first profitable app using something called vibe coding, and more importantly, how to turn that app into cold, hard cash. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to go from zero coding experience to launching your first money-making app. Look, I know what you're thinking. Another coding tutorial promising the world. But here's the thing that nobody talks about. The most successful apps weren't built by coding wizards spending months perfecting every line of code. They were built by people who understood one simple concept: vibe coding. And before you click away thinking this is some made-up term, let me explain what this actually means and why it's revolutionizing how people approach app development. Vibe coding is essentially development driven by intuition and rapid iteration rather than traditional structured programming. Instead of spending weeks planning every feature and writing perfect code, you build based on what feels right, what flows naturally, and what users actually want. Think of it like jazz improvisation versus classical music. Both create beautiful results, but one allows for spontaneous creativity and faster adaptation. The reason this approach works so well for beginners is simple. Traditional coding education focuses on syntax, algorithms, and technical perfection. Vibe coding focuses on solving real problems and creating user experiences that people actually want to use. And here's the kicker: users don't care if your code is elegant. They care if your app solves their problems and feels good to use. So let's dive into the actual process. The first step in vibe coding isn't opening your IDE or choosing a programming language. It's understanding the vibe of your target users. Who are they? What frustrates them? What would make their day better? This isn't about conducting formal market research with surveys and focus groups. This is about observing, listening, and feeling what people need. Start by identifying a micro problem in your own life or in communities you're part of. Maybe you're always forgetting to water your plants. Maybe your friend group struggles to decide where to eat. Maybe gym bros at your local fitness center can't track their workout partner's progress. These aren't earth-shattering problems, but they're real friction points that people experience daily. Once you've identified your vibe, it's time to prototype rapidly. Here's where traditional coding advice gets it completely wrong. They'll tell you to choose the perfect tech stack, set up your development environment properly, and plan your database schema. Forget all that. Start with the simplest possible version of your idea using no-code or low-code tools. Platforms like Bubble, Glide, or even simple website builders can help you create a functional prototype in hours, not weeks. The goal isn't to build your final product. The goal is to test whether your vibe matches reality. Can you get 5 people to use your prototype and give you feedback? If not, pivot immediately. Don't fall in love with your first idea. But here's where it gets interesting. Once you've validated your vibe through a working prototype, then you can start thinking about actual coding. And this is where vibe coding really shines. Instead of learning programming in abstract academic terms, you're learning it to solve a specific problem you've already validated. Choose the simplest possible tech stack that can deliver your vision. For most beginners, this means JavaScript for both front-end and back-end. Node.js, React, and a simple database like Firebase or MongoDB. Don't overthink it. The best tech stack is the one you can actually use to ship something. Now comes the fun part, building with intuition. Instead of following rigid coding tutorials, build features based on user feedback and your gut feeling about what should come next. If users are confused by a button placement, move it. If a feature feels clunky, simplify it. If something takes too long to load, optimize it. This iterative approach keeps you focused on user experience rather than technical perfection. Here's a crucial mindset shift that separates successful vibe coders from traditional developers. Embrace imperfection. Your first version will be messy. Your code will have bugs. Your design will be basic. That's not just okay, it's necessary. Perfect code that nobody uses is worthless. Imperfect code that solves real problems can make you rich. Set yourself a deadline, 30 days to build and launch version 1. This artificial constraint forces you to make decisions quickly and avoid the perfectionism trap that kills most projects. During these 30 days, code for 4 to 6 hours daily, but spend equal time talking to potential users and iterating based on their feedback. But building the app is only half the battle. Let's talk about turning your vibe-coded creation into actual money. The monetization strategy you choose should align with your app's natural user behavior, not force users into uncomfortable payment patterns. Freemium models work brilliantly for utility apps. Give away the core functionality for free, then charge for advanced features or higher usage limits. Dating apps charge for premium messaging features. Productivity apps charge for team collaboration or advanced analytics. The key is identifying what users value most after they're already hooked on your basic offering. Subscription models create recurring revenue but require consistent value delivery. If your app solves an ongoing problem rather than a one-time need, subscriptions make sense. Think meditation apps, habit trackers, or business management tools. The magic number is getting users to their third successful use case within the first week. After that, conversion rates skyrocket. One-time purchases work well for apps that solve specific problems completely. Photo editors, games with clear endpoints, or specialized calculators can command upfront payments. The advantage is immediate revenue without ongoing retention pressure. The disadvantage is limited revenue per user and higher customer acquisition costs. But here's the monetization strategy most beginners overlook: building an audience first, then monetizing later. Instead of charging for your app immediately, make it completely free and focus obsessively on user growth. Then monetize through partnerships, sponsorships, or by launching premium products to your existing user base. Consider the advertising model carefully. Ad revenue can be substantial with sufficient users, but ads can destroy user experience if implemented poorly. Native advertising and sponsored content generally perform better than intrusive banner ads. But remember, you need significant user numbers for advertising revenue to become meaningful. The real secret to app monetization isn't choosing the right revenue model. It's understanding your users so deeply that monetization feels natural and valuable rather than extractive. Users happily pay for things that make their lives significantly better. They resent paying for things that feel like arbitrary obstacles. Track your key metrics religiously: user acquisition cost, lifetime value, daily active users, retention rates, and conversion percentages. These numbers tell you whether your app has the potential to become profitable before you invest too heavily in scaling. Launch strategy matters more than most people realize. Don't wait for your app to be perfect before telling people about it. Start building buzz during development by sharing your progress on social media, relevant forums, and with friends who fit your target demographic. This early feedback loop improves your product and creates anticipation for launch. Product Hunt, Reddit communities, and niche forums can drive significant initial traffic if you engage authentically rather than just promotional posting. Share your story, your struggles, and your victories. People connect with human experiences more than polished marketing messages. Consider building in public as a marketing strategy. Document your vibe coding journey through blog posts, videos, or social media updates. This transparency builds trust and creates a community around your product before it even launches. Some of the most successful apps have passionate communities that form during development rather than after launch. Pricing psychology plays a huge role in monetization success. $9.99 feels significantly cheaper than $10, even though the difference is trivial. Annual subscriptions with monthly pricing comparisons increase conversion rates. Limited time offers create urgency without feeling manipulative if the value proposition is genuine. But here's what nobody talks about. Most successful apps make money in ways their creators never originally planned. Twitter became an advertising platform. Instagram became a shopping destination. WhatsApp became a business communication tool. Stay flexible about monetization as you learn more about how users actually engage with your creation. The biggest mistake new app developers make is trying to monetize too early or too aggressively. Focus first on creating something people genuinely want to use every day. Monetization becomes much easier when you have engaged, satisfied users who see clear value in your product. Remember that building a profitable app is a marathon, not a sprint. Most overnight successes took years of iteration, failure, and learning. Your first app probably won't make you rich, but it will teach you everything you need to know to build your second app, which might change your life. The beautiful thing about vibe coding is that it keeps you connected to the human element of technology. Instead of getting lost in technical complexity, you stay focused on creating experiences that people actually want. And at the end of the day, that's what turns apps into businesses and hobbies into careers. Start building today. Your first version won't be perfect, but it will be yours.